Invictus Games 2020 to be held in Holland. Prince Harry today announced the 5th Invictus Games will take place in Holland in 2020. The Duke of Sussex, patron of the Invictus Games Foundation, today said, "I am delighted to announce that The Hague is taking up the challenge of hosting the 5th Invictus Games in 2020. The city will soon become the motivation for hundreds of servicemen and women using the Invictus Games to inspire their recovery from physical and mental injuries," he said. It comes amid reports that the Duke and his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, could make their first official visit together to the Netherlands in July. Harry went on, "The Netherlands has supported the Games from the very beginning, and I know that everyone there will fully get behind and support the soldiers and veterans who have served their countries so bravely. We have already seen in London, Orlando, and Toronto just how exciting hosting the Invictus Games can be, and I know this will be an incredible experience for everyone in The Hague as they embrace the Invictus spirit in 2020, he said. He added, "Post-war, The Hague has undergone its own process of rebuilding and rehabilitation, a theme many of those competing can intimately relate to. A city transformed, The Hague inspired a nation. So too, we believe the 2020 Invictus Games will act as an inspiration to competitors and those attending or watching at home." Events will be held across the city over the course of a week 2020, with further details to be announced later this year. The Invictus Games, the only international sporting event for wounded, injured and sick, WIS, servicemen and women, both serving and veteran, will take place next in Sydney this October and tickets have gone on sale. Harry will travel to Australia for the event with his wife, the Duchess of Sussex. The newlyweds are also expected to visit New Zealand, Fiji and Tonga on the tour that would kick off in Australia. The Games use the power of sport to inspire recovery, support rehabilitation and generate a wider understanding and respect of all those who serve their country. Servicemen and women have praised Prince Harry for changing lives ahead of this year's Invictus Games in Sydney. The Invictus Games The Hague 2020 will bring together over 500 competitors from 19 nations to compete in a series of adaptive sports. The Hague was selected following a competitive international tender process, with the Invictus Games Foundation chairman, Sir Keith Mills GBE, noting that, in particular, the bid exemplified the Invictus spirit. The Invictus Games The Hague 2020 chairman, Lieutenant Gen. Ret. Martin de Cruyff, said, "We are very honored that the Invictus Games is coming to The Hague." 2020 is an important milestone for the Netherlands, marking 75 years since liberation. The Invictus Games provides the perfect opportunity for us to link the past to the present by paying a tribute to wounded, injured and sick service personnel who served, and are serving, the military. These role models have shown that the strength of the human spirit is unbeatable, Howe said. The announcement comes as competitors from across the world prepare to head to Sydney this October, for what will be the 4th iteration of the Invictus Games. The Invictus Games Foundation plans to extend the period between games to 2 years period following the completion of this year's Games in Sydney. Dominic Reid, CEO of the Invictus Games Foundation said, "Ensuring that the beacon created by the Invictus Games remains lit for future generations of serving personnel and veterans is the Foundation's priority." In moving to a biennial Games, the Invictus Games Foundation will use the intervening years to develop knowledge transfer and the sharing of best practice to allow the Invictus spirit to flourish amongst all participating nations. Dutch media are reporting that Prince Harry will be visiting the Netherlands in late July. The 2017 Invictus Games were held in Toronto, Canada, and is where Harry's wife, the then Meghan Markle, made her first appearance at an official event. She also attended the opening ceremony where she sat apart from Harry and the closing ceremony where the couple was joined by Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland.